Alright, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. Today I just want to talk about Hearts of Iron 4 1.0. Now I haven't played this version of the game yet, and I'll link an article below on how to do it. Basically you just have to sign into your Paradox account, and you can get the beta code from there, just on like Google or something. And yeah, let's just take a look at 1.0, Hearts of Iron 4. First thing I already noticed is I'm pretty sure they have a Twitter. Oh, this is it right here. That's an old logo for Twitter, and I think they have a couple more things down here now. And the career profile, that's a relatively new feature. I'm sure a lot of players remember when they didn't have it still, but yeah, it's not here. Any options different? I'm not sure. Yeah, I would not be able to tell. I don't think so. Same two starting scenarios, and already something you noticed, there is no list of focus trees down here for the minor countries, because there is none. There's only 7 focus trees in the game, and that's for the majors. And also Hitler's face is blurred out, and all the different alternate focus paths, they're not here. I'm not sure if they're just not in the game at all, or they just don't exist. I will definitely check that out. And I feel like the game looks a bit different. Now the map, there's a couple of features that are different that I'll point out. The biggest one is that Japan owns Manchukuo now. Manchukuo is still there. Another one is Communist China owns this state now. I think the map only looks different just because I have the settings on normal when I normally have them on low. Generic portraits for a lot of the leaders. British Raj, generic portrait, generic portrait, generic portrait. Communist China, they have Mao. Shangzi, generic portrait. All of them are generic portraits, and they're all like the same generic portrait, which is pretty crazy. Iraq's generic portrait. Any of the Axis countries? Wow, Romania has a generic portrait. Obviously the Lithuanian and Latvian guys, I didn't expect them to have a real one. So look good. The national spirits, I know now a lot of these countries have a lot more national spirits than this. Just because they have focus trees now, and back then, yeah, they didn't really have these focus trees. Well, I can't notice too much different about the map, so I think we should just jump in the game. Whoa, this regular veteran recruit. They have a couple more modes now, and there's no settings to change the AI's difficulty to buff them. Wow, this is a really old looking menu there. One thing I will note is that there's no loading bar, 1.0, but also you can't launch the game by double clicking on the icon on your desktop. At least for me, I had to go to Steam, click play, and then click launch game. Like another pop-up showed up and I had to click launch game, and in brackets it said for versions older than 1.7.1, and I think that's because the old launcher is like part of the game, maybe. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. Already there is some differences from modern day Hoi4 that I can already notice. There's no stability. They had national unity back then, which is like war support and stability mixed together. When I started playing, I'm pretty sure they still had national unity. Political power is on the right of national unity now, and Germany gained 3 per day because I don't have a focus selected. The army, there's no unassigned divisions tab, so imagine playing Soviets, you'd have to find all your divisions, select them, and they look like the exact same divisions that they have been for the past couple years now. The industry is different. Wow, Germany has more mills than they do in vanilla, and they have a different way of doing the stockpiles. It tells you if you're filled or not on them. Wow, and that's a different icon for support equipment, I believe. I don't know if it looks like that has that cross. I could be wrong, though. And Navy, I mean, that's a huge one. A lot of people started playing the game after Man the Gun, so a lot of people don't remember that this was the Navy. You know, your ships looked like this. They looked like little divisions. And there was no command, there was no traits as well back then that you can assign. You had to earn them. Or I'm not even sure in this version because these generals, they just have skills. They don't have like the different naval stats, and I'm not even sure if that's like that. Wow, with these generals too, you just have traits. You don't actually have um, you don't have you just have skill, and that just gives you attack and defense. Now, I'm pretty sure there's versions of Hoi4 where there's no general cap at all. I don't know if in 1.0 they had it, then they removed it after, but I feel like there was a time where generals didn't have a cap at all. I know field marshals don't. And maybe that's what I was thinking of. You just promote your general, and then you get a field marshal. Huh. Wow, this is crazy. And obviously, actually not obviously, there is no field marshals. It's just generals. You just have them under armies, you know? There's no field marshals or anything, and this is definitely a lot less icons that exist now. You know, garrison order. There's no option to deselect like a city or a port. That didn't even exist yet. Frontline. Did they have shift click front lines and stuff? They did. Well, actually, I guess the garrison order frontline didn't need to exist back then because there was no field marshals. Exercise is a button up here. That's something I noticed too. There's a lot of stuff. I've never played this version of the game before, so I haven't noticed it yet. But, you know, let me know if I maybe missed some stuff in the comments. And wow, trade tab is a lot different. That's pretty cool. You can see what their trade law is on, and that could be very useful for multiplayer. Because, you know, a lot of times you're like, wow, Soviets, you know, they're out of chromium. What trade law are they on? Oh, export? Maybe you can ask them to go free trade. You'll probably get told to fuck off, but you know, you could do that. Does Germany start with all the same tech? I think so. I think they do. Yeah, but I think they have a bomber variant in vanilla nowadays. I think they have a bomber variant. This is just interesting to me. Just the old Navy system. I mean, can you put 15 on a heavy cruiser? I honestly forget, and that sounds pretty crazy. Wow, you can put 15 on battleships too. And oh my goodness, I just realized you can only put 15 on a line. I don't see any buttons to increase it, you know, to change it to like a 5 or a 10. That is crazy. So it probably would be smart as Germany, if you had to play 1.0, to make multiple lines day one just to build that efficiency up. And you can't even drag it either, which I can definitely see how this would be painful. At least there's a shift click feature to bring it to the top, but that would be annoying as hell if I was playing multiplayer back then. The air tab is different. Wow, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Honestly, whoa. So these are my air wings, and to assign them over Eastern Germany, can I assign them over Western Germany? Oh, I can. Okay, so I just grab them from here and assign them. Do they have orders? I'm not sure. Empty carriers. Wow, this is a crazy way to do stuff. 0 kilometers. I'm not sure what that means even. But I don't even see anything for orders. I think, you know, your fighters are just always, you know, fighting. They're always just doing, like, maybe they're intercepting bombers at the same time. I think bombers may have been broken back then. It's like a focus trees for a bit. This is the exact same focus tree it's been the whole time. I think they should refresh the starting focus tree, to be honest. I think definitely lacking, and that's different. I think that bar is colored differently now. Alright, are any of the laws different? I don't think so. I think everything's pretty standard, especially in a country like Germany. The focus tree. I know with no DLC in vanilla right now, Germany doesn't have an alt history path, but wow, that is crazy. I I don't think I remember it being like this. But I remember Japan having a different focus tree. I don't remember Germany like this, though. This is crazy. Their industry tree, I don't see the military industry focuses. You just have industrial effort and industrial effort too. And I don't even think you get just industry bonuses. You get two 50% construction bonuses instead. That is pretty crazy. Are any other focuses different though? Alliance with the USSR still existed back then, which is pretty crazy. And Puppet Turkey too. I'm not sure if that's in vanilla. I honestly couldn't tell you. It's one of those focuses I just would not be able to remember if that existed. I'm curious if events are different at all. France. Wow, that's a different focus. I think I do remember this focus, to be honest. And it looks pretty powerful. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't remember anything about it, but 5 mils is pretty good for a 70-day focus, especially in vanilla. And I mean, that's just a powerful focus thing there. Whoa, and they have an alt history path. Wow. And I think they did keep this stuff here when they remade the France tree. I'm pretty sure that stayed. These navy trees and air trees, just a generic tree thrown on. This is pretty interesting though. I will say that. The UK, only the Raj is a puppet. British Malaya does not exist. I missed that. Wow. But only India is a puppet. All the other countries are just free. And I know now in Hoi4, when Canada gets free, I'm pretty sure their flag changes. And I think if you play Hoi4 nowadays with no DLC, you'll see that as well, that Canada's flag is going to be their modern day one, even though that is not realistic at all. That flag wasn't even created till the 60s. Now, I was just going off on a little tangent there. The UK tree does look pretty familiar. You know, not a lot's different here, if anything, besides just like they added, you know. Oh, okay, no, this is different. This is a lot different, actually. I don't, because nowadays this stuff I think is on the right side, and on the left side you have the thing with that one focus with the Churchill. It's like the side you go to get like partial and go to war with like Iraq and stuff. Like this stuff, I'm pretty sure is on the other side now. Stuff like this, yeah, that's crazy. Just I think the UK can just get access to this just on a regular historical game, which is pretty cool to be honest. And I think that's what gave old Hoi4 games a lot of, flair and that fun, that, UK could just do something like this randomly, but everyone's still doing somewhat historical stuff, and that made it pretty fun, in my opinion. But what do I know? Japan does not have a faction. That's interesting. And while we look at it, are the factions different at all? I don't think so. I think all the factions stayed pretty much the same, which makes a lot of sense. You don't really need to change the faction. But something I did notice is the old boost party popularity and stage a coup thing, which are just classic Hoi4 features. Yeah, I actually do kind of miss that. And I know if you play vanilla now without the DLC, La Resistance, you actually do get these back. You can actually have these in the current version of Hoi4 if you disable La Resistance, which I wouldn't really recommend because you would have to research good old decryption and encryption tech. Sorry for the cough there. Which is just, wow, oh my god, the oil is different. There's no the other stuff. Does that other stuff exist? It does, but but it's upgraded from vanilla, I think. I think in regular vanilla, it doesn't give any. Does it give oil regularly in vanilla, or just oil production? And 2, rubber, when I think nowadays it's 1. Where was I? Research. Industry, I don't even think converting equipment existed yet, to be honest. I won't be able to tell just looking at it in 1936. Special Forces tree down here. That doesn't exist either, which is pretty interesting. And I noticed the map modes. I think there's empty. Just it's just these three. There's only three little map modes down here. You don't even have a lot of the old ones. All the support companies are the same. The tanks, amphibious tanks, had not come out yet. That goes with Amtrax too. The Arty looks the same. Doctrines look the same. Navy's a lot different. Yeah, Navy Doctrines, same. Except you just have to research it, which I think a lot of Hoi4 players remember that. What did I want to look at? Just maybe the different map modes, like the old supply system. Does anyone miss this? Because I think I've gotten used to the new one, but for a while I missed this. I mean, this was nice, having just 102 supply anywhere in this state. You can have 20 tanks on a tile, and you were just chilling. That was just good old Hoi4, but it's different now, and that's all good. State map mode, resistance map mode, old school resistance. Now that's another interesting thing, which I will not be able to show off in this video, but just something, maybe I can show it off in a Let's Play. If you guys want, I could do a Let's Play in Hoi4 1.0 and just let me know the country, and I'll find a way to make it more difficult. I mean, I'll probably end up losing anyways. Actually, probably not. It's the AI. Let's be real here. Am I missing anything? Germany still starts trading with Sweden day one. I just love that. The US, do they have a different focus tree? The Great Depression, that might be different than what it is nowadays. I'm pretty sure that is different. What's the other thing? Home of the Free. That's a different focus focus tree. Wow, this is interesting. So you can't even go down this stuff here till you're at war. And to be honest, these aren't that good. A lot of these focuses aren't that good. WPA you can take immediately. War propaganda, you need someone to cause more than 20% world tension. So probably like Theta Checks or like China War would probably do that. Giant wakes. Wow. You can take that after. Yeah, that's pretty standard. This is different. You can go from undisturbed isolation, okay, to isolation. Interesting. Arsenal Democracy is all the way down here, and I'm pretty sure in vanilla you can take Arsenal Democracy pretty much whenever, as long as you were able to get down to that part of the focus tree. Now, this is interesting. Warplan Black, that's the German one, right? Yep. So you just do a couple focuses that kind of have to do with that country, which is pretty cool. You embargo Russia, you befriend Germany, you get a war goal. Though I don't know what the potential for having alt-hist games is back then, with no one having focus trees. I mean, I guess all the minors can go alt-hist, but the majors, they don't really have an alt-hist path. Warplane Orange, who's that, Japan? Pearl Harbor Gambit. Whoa! While the focus is running, Japan will have the opportunity to launch an attack. It will be abandoned if at most 7 capital ships in Hawaii. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe I might have played the game when this was in the game. I'm not sure when they changed the USA tree. I just don't remember it being like this. Though I do have a pretty bad memory. Monroe Doctrine. I remember back in the day, actually. Maybe I do remember this USA tree then. Because I remember, as a kind of beginner to the game, I'd play like Argentina. And I would start invading these countries. And then once USA did Monroe Doctrine, I was like, all right, it's time to stop. Because now they might declare war on you. Or maybe it's Pax Americana. Yeah, I think it's this one. It's this one, actually. But these focuses were kind of ridiculous. I mean, the political power was the only use for the part. I mean, who the hell cares about ideology drift defense? Like, I think the developers, when they made this tree, they thought the game was a lot bigger than it really was. Because I mean, like a lot more in depth than it really is, because it's not like in an actual game, Germany's boosting fascism in Peru to get the AI on their side. If it's an actual multiplayer game, there would be like a Peru player, and it'd be incredibly obvious what they're gonna do, and you can't prevent it because it's a player. They're just gonna make their decision. So these focuses are pretty much useless besides the political power, unless the AI is going fascist. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're the United States. You just invade them. Now, I'm pretty sure Japan and Russia and Italy, which I'll look at Italy quickly because I think a lot of people remember what Italy's like. This tree. And it's crazy that this tree was Italy's tree for like 6 years. Like every minor country in the game pretty much got a huge tree before Italy got anything better than this. I mean, this tree was, to be honest, a classic. I didn't even mind it that much. It was straightforward. You go like this side, then like here, do some Albania eventually. I think it's like you try to get the air fighter bonus. I think that's what you want to do now. This might be a different bonus in like, I feel like that got changed. I don't know if it was a 50% bonus or not. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's look at Russia. I think they might have a couple more mills. And their focus tree is, wow. This brings back memories though. If I forgot the purge was the purge really on this side or was it on the other side? Did they move it? I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if the purge was always here, like till the Russia update, because I feel like I don't remember it being there, but it makes sense, I guess. Wow, I think all the bonuses are the same too. Yeah, yeah, I think they are. Move industry to the Urals. That I feel like in vanilla for a while, the effect didn't say all that stuff down there, but I could be wrong. And I think for the most part, these focuses are pretty much the same. You just get national unity instead of stability or war support. Yeah, that's the classic Soviet tree. I don't really have to cover too much. Now, Japan, this is an interesting tree. I'm pretty sure I remember this. Yeah, yeah. I remember playing Japan early on in my Hoi4 career, and I remember this tree. This is the focus I'm pretty sure you have to do for the border war or just for going to war in general. Wow. That's how you just strike the USA. I mean, you can go into the USA in 1936 if you really wanted to, I think. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember I used to have, I think when I was like really, really new, I don't know why I would do this. I thought I was helping the German AI or something because the AI was so bad. But I was so bad too that I was like the same level as the AI. This Chinese puppet focus, I don't know if it was all the time, but I remember this worked for me before, more than once. I would click this Chinese puppet focus, and you can skip the war with China. You can just get him as a puppet. And I think all of China too. I think all of China you would get. Like even the warlords and stuff, I think would all become one puppet. Or you could do war with China, which I don't even know if I was good enough back then. Actually, I think you do have to do Chinese puppet, and then you go after the warlords after. Yeah, interesting focus tree though. You can create your faction down here. Improve national spirit. That's something that Germany has as well. They have that focus under the same name, but you have to take, I think, London and Stalingrad for that to get that. Indian National Army. That's an interesting focus. I'm curious what that does. If that recruits divisions or not for you, because that is actually pretty cool. Siam stuff. Just a lot of stuff back then. You can tell the developers didn't really know how people were going to play the game. I think the people play the game different than the developers think or thought. I think now they probably know what people like doing in the game and stuff, but I think they really thought people were going to buy into these like mutually exclusive branches, like befriend Siam, precious Siam. I think they thought people were really going to like that. When in reality, it's like you don't really need to befriend the AI. You can just annex the AI and make more divisions. That's just something I thought about right now. Yeah, I don't really know if whatever I said there had any sort of validity to it, but yeah. And I think that is gonna be almost pretty much a wrap for the video. I mean, let me know if I missed out on anything. Let me know if you want me to actually play Hoi4 1.0. Because I will do a Let's Play people want. I could do like a Germany game, just a major, to be honest. I'm not going to do a minor country, but I'll do a major. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, have a good day.